Your host, Kean Lynch.
Kellen Mann.
Torrin Carter Brown.
Today we're with Cam Green, varsity wrestler. How you feeling, Cam?
Feeling really good today. How you guys doing?
Good.
It's good.
Good.
All
So you
right.
know-
So you're currently a freshman on varsity, and you were named Freshman of the Week. You want to talk a little bit about that? What's been like? How's that feel for you?
So leading up to that, we really only wrestled out of state. So we wrestled the first two tournaments, Donnybrook, which is in Coralville, Iowa, and Casey Stampede in Kansas City. So we weren't really good to wrestle in the state. So that that was getting me a little mad because a couple other kids I thought I could beat were in the state, ranked higher than me and stuff. So getting back into the state, wrestling some good competition, beating some of those guys that were ranked higher, felt really good, and that's how I got named Freshman of the Week.
Yeah, talking about those rankings, you're ranked third in state at 126. Do you think that that's a good rating? You think you're gonna get higher in the year? How are you feeling on that?
As of now, I'm moving up, but the top two kids, I haven't wrestled them yet this season, so I think that's why. And they're kind of underestimating me because I'm a freshman, so I think that's a little bit why I'm ranked third, but also I haven't wrestled the top two kids. So.
Sure.
All right, yeah. So we're gonna jump to some more personal questions here. So when did you really start wrestling, and what's been like a big motivator for you? Or has there been anybody who's been like an inspiration for you?
So yeah, I started wrestling when I was four years old, and I actually started competing when I was 5. So my first really big motivator was my dad. He's been there for, I don't know, my whole life, and just always been a big supporter, helping me get through wrestling life, just helping me with the mental aspect of wrestling.
So what did your first ever match look like, and how did that feel for you?
So honestly,
Probably
there's
a long time
videos
ago.
of my first match, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I figured.
I won it, but I just loved wrestling at that time. It was just so fun to me. I didn't really remember it, but I just remember it being like a super fun time in my life, and just that's why I've kept doing it right now.
Yeah. What does a pre-match look like for you? You got number 1, Class B, tonight, Scut. What are some superstitions that you do before matches, just kind of pregame rituals?
For me personally, I think a lot of people do this, but just listening to some good music, getting something that'll hype your head up, and just making sure you're confident in yourself, believing in God, and I just like to pray sometimes, even before a match, just to make sure I'm confident in myself and just trust God in His process. But I just like to listen to good music, like rap, just whatever gets me hype and just in the moment.
For sure.
Yeah. Then as we talked a little bit before, you're ranked number 3. What's been a big obstacle for you to overcome for you to get to where you are today?
So, dude, all my life I just been working really hard, and the biggest obstacle at this point is just mental. Mental's the biggest aspect in wrestling. You just got to get your mental into it, believe in yourself, trust the process, believe in your coaches, everyone that's just been there for you. Just trust the process. That's what I would say.
Who would you say has been your biggest role model in your career so far?
So along with my dad, Coach Fisher, the head coach at Prep, he's just been a big role model in my life, and he's been helping me along the way as far as my dad. But he's like a second dad, honestly. He's been there for me for a long time as well, and just been a big role model. The way he carries himself, the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he thinks of wrestling, the way he thinks of life. He just has a good outlook on life, and I just want to have that outlook as well.
Yeah. Since you've been wrestling since such a young age, what's the difference, and how hard of a difference is it at all if, going from middle school wrestling into high school, what's the jump like that?
So the biggest, I think, difference is the physicality in it. The middle school, elementary, everyone's wrestling, and you're almost the same strength. But when you go in as a freshman wrestling these seniors and juniors, you feel how strong they are. You feel how much technique you have to use. You feel all the different jumps and levels that you have to make, and it's a big jump in a short amount of time. So you got to work hard and stay focused in order to make that jump from middle school, elementary to high school.
Yeah. Then you want to talk about some goals you got for this season?
So one of my biggest goals is to win state championship, and this has been a goal for me since I was super young. I probably started this goal when I was about 6 or 7, and I've been watching these guys coming up, and that's just my biggest goal, and it's been my goal for a long time, so I hope to achieve that this year.
So who on the team would you say has been like the biggest leader to you and everybody else on the team?
I'd say the only senior on varsity, Adonis Bonner. He's just been a super big help in my life, and we have really good conversations, car talks, after practice talks, and just mental mental talks, checkups on each other. And he's just been there for me for a long time. He's just been helping me throughout this year, throughout even before high school. He's just been helping me, talking to me, just getting me prepared for this moment.
You know, you've faced a ton of opponents through your time since you've been wrestling since you're 4. Who would you say was your toughest opponent to face?
Dude, there's been a lot of really good guys, and at the national level, you'll face so many good guys. It's hard to say, but I've had a lot of good matches. I can't really say the best guy I've ever wrestled, but you know you'll wrestle a lot of good guys, and you just got to be prepared for everyone. So, toughest opponent, it's hard to say.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about what's been like the hardest part about being a wrestler? Like any struggles or just really any like tough part about wrestling?
Dude, wrestling, a lot of people like to say wrestling's the toughest sport. And in order to wrestle, you have to be mentally tough, physically tough, and just emotionally tough because you'll face the losses are probably the hardest part. Because when you work so hard and you know what you do in the practice room, in the gym, like when you work so hard and you go out there and you unfortunately take a loss, it's just like it's mentally draining, physically draining, and it just takes a wear and tear on your body and mind. So taking a loss is probably the hardest, and coming back from that, just being mentally resilient and physically resilient, coming back and doing the best that you can.
You know, big duel tonight against Scott.
Yeah.
How's the team prepared for that? You know, how have you seen the guys around you working to, prepare for tonight?
Dude, this whole season we've been working really hard, not just for this duel though, just for the season, but this week we really amped it up, focused on technique and just not really focusing on the tough aspect, but focusing making sure everyone's technique is sharp and crisp and making sure everyone is on their A game coming into this duel. So yeah, we know it'll be tough, but we know we can get it done.
Yeah. You know, you're just starting out as a freshman. You're obviously doing a lot this year. You got 3 more years to go. You know, what are some things that you want to get done within those, by your senior year?
My goal, obviously, since I've been 6 and 7, since I want to win as a freshman, that means I want to win all 4 years. So winning all 4 years is probably the biggest thing I want to accomplish by senior year. Just making sure, just getting into a D1 college is big goal for me as well. So, yeah, that's all I got, really.
Good?
Yeah.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for today's podcast. A round of applause for Cam here.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
It was fun.
That's not bad. That was good.